All right, it's time for Macon and Eggs. Good morning, I'm Leah Fleming. Finally, back in studio for another edition of Macon and Eggs with Charles
Time.
I know, Charles
Where
Richardson.
You been?
I have been all over the place. We had our fundraising campaign. We had
and your sister got her MBA from
Yes.
Howard University in Washington, D.C.
It was so exciting to be there to celebrate with her and, of course, the president.
Yeah.
Obama. Yeah.
And 25,000 of your newest, bestest friends.
Yes, yeah, it was wonderful. So we are finally back in studio to talk about all kinds of things. So much has happened.
A lot.
A lot has happened. So let's get on to hot topic number one this week. Macon-Bib County Mayor Robert Rickard, he rolled out this third full year budget of the consolidated government. It hits the 20% budget reduction that was demanded by the city and county consolidation process. But the hitch is that the special 1 cent penny sales tax played a huge part in that,
Right.
and that needs to continue. How does that work?
That's exactly right. And, with all of the things, the sort of big, hairy issues that the county faces in the future, from the stormwater drainage issue, from the landfill closing, none of those things can really be funded through the general fund. They're just too big. So we're sort of gotten ourselves into a position where we're going to have to continue the penny sales tax until we can get some of those things done. So it's more like a permanent tax, but it's something that has to be redone every 5 years in order for us to continue with the process that we've started in this county.
And it's going to be voted. It needs to be voted on by
the public.
By the public.
Right.
All right. So the mayor is holding these meetings, these SPLOS meetings, one of which is taking place tonight, Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Macon Mall.
Right.
And people will come out and give ideas. Is that the goal for that?
And the thing is, here's the problem. Stormwater drainage isn't sexy.
That isn't.
I mean, it's just not. Landfills aren't sexy, but you got to have some place to put your garbage. Now, the landfill, once it's closed, they have to monitor it for 30 some odd years. A lot of money. But how do you sell that to the public? How do you sell stormwater drainage to the public? Now, if you say, well, we're going to put stormwater drainage and we're going to put ball fields all over the county, people are going to remember the ball fields all over the county and not think about stormwater drainage. So how do you package that, and how do you wrap citizens' ideas into something where you can get what the citizens really, really need into something that the citizens also really, really want?
Yeah, yeah. So how do you think that we are doing in terms of the budget and money? Are we doing pretty well?
Well, I think looking at consolidated governments over time, I think this is the best rollout of a consolidated government that has happened in Georgia, period. I mean, we haven't had any big snafus. When Augusta-Richmond County consolidated, oh boy, they're still working through some of those issues. We don't have the same issues that they had, and that's a good thing. But they sort of had a shotgun marriage, and then they had to go on their honeymoon really quick. We had time to work through a lot of those issues before the actual government took over. But yeah, I think it's working very well. You can see some progress that really started before the government consolidated, but you can see that things have started to pick up since then. So it was really an outward sign that things were on the upswing.
Yeah. And it looks like Mayor Rickard will be able to continue on this journey. He's running unopposed. We're voting later this month.
Wait a minute. He is not running unopposed. There is a write-in candidate, remember? David Cusino.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you got to give the man his props. He's right. He's running unopposed for all intents and purposes. I say that firmly with tongue in cheek, but he is running. So there is a chance. Like a snowflake in certain places deep underground. But his name, people can write him in if they wanted to.
Okay.
Don't mean to crack you up.
This is true. For the record, this is exactly true.
Right.
All right. Hot topic number 2. Oh, this is another issue right here. The troubled Macon Charter Academy, they have filed for bankruptcy. Officials hope that this will help the school from losing its charter. They've also said the school will continue to be able to operate while restructuring finances and contracts. However, a state agency officially told the Macon Charter Academy that they plan to end their charter. Is the school going to be open next year or not? Information coming from MCA has been confusing. If you are a parent dealing with a child in this school environment, what are you supposed to do?
If I'm a parent, I get my kid back into their normal school as quickly as possible. One, the way a school makes money is to have students. MCA has indicated they will not be open next school year. If they are not open next school year, they will have no money, meaning that if they enter in any kind of Chapter 11 agreement to pay off their bills, there is no money to pay off those bills. The company that owns their building that they are paying payments to, they're not going to sit around and let that building sit empty while it gathers dust or whatever. If you can't pay your bills, can't keep the lights on, how do you expect to come back in a year? Secondly, you've got the State Department of Education ready to yank your charter, and you've just given them more information to yank your charter. So I think they are dead.
That this is it.
This is it. I mean, why would the state let you keep your charter when you're not going to be open next year on the hopes that you're going to be open next year with who's going to send their child to your school? Who's going to work for you? How are you going to attract qualified teachers, administrators to run your school when you haven't been open for a year with the history that you've had this year?
Yeah. This was really a powerful year for them to do something. And it seems like it's been a year full of chaos.
It has been a year full of chaos, and it's a shame because there's a lot of blame that goes all around. They have had 3 governing boards. The first board got frustrated and quit. The second board got frustrated and quit. Now the third board that comes in, they're trying to pick up the pieces the best they can. But running a school is a very difficult thing to do. School financing is very difficult to understand and do. And they've not had the people with the right amount of expertise to do that.
Yeah. All right, on to hot topic number 3. A celebration of life has been held for Fort Valley State University freshman Donald Phelps. He was stabbed to death on campus last week after trying to help 3 young women by the school cafeteria who were being groped and harassed by a former student who then attacked him and stabbed him to death, as well as a security officer later on campus. So we would like to pause to remember his life in a day and time like this, where we hear a lot of negative things. What do you think about when you listen to this young man who put his life?
Well, obviously he was a fine young man. He came to the aid of 3 females that were being attacked. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, thereabouts. He didn't have to do that. He didn't. He could have just walked on and found a security person, but he stepped in. He took a risk. The risk cost him his life, but it showed his character, and the character is that he was willing to lay down his own life for the lives of others. So I think that he'll be remembered fondly. The Fort Valley family is going to remember him fondly, and I think that although he's no longer with us, his memories will be with Fort Valley and the kind of students that go there for quite a long time.
Yeah. And I thought it was appropriate that Governor Deal ordered flags lowered to have staff in his honor.
Very much so.
Certainly he was brave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we need those kind of qualities in the rest of our young people's population.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we certainly join all of the Fort Valley community in remembering Donald Phelps and his life, and our condolences to his family.
Yes, but they raised a fine young man.
Yes, they did. They should just really be proud.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, to hear our entire conversation, you can go to Macon.com, or our newly updated website is gpbnews.org. We will be back again soon. We won't let it go this long.
I hope not.
We'll be back. All right.